Namaste, Soul Tribe family and collective. Welcome over to all the N1111 Energy Soul Tribe family, and welcome back for those of you who are returning, and to my Soul Tribe family members as a whole. I love you and the divine loves you. Thank you so much for coming back over, y'all. Thank you for everything that you've done for our space. I am truly grateful. I appreciate the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, and you tapping into the messages. Ashe. Let's get into this energy, y'all. Let's see what the divine needs and wants you to know. At this time, divine, we are grateful. I ask that you continue to keep us protected during this read, all reads, and all the time. I ask that you provide us clear and concise messages, as well as clarity, guidance, intuition, wisdom, and discernment. Any negativity, any toxicity, any evil, any witchcraft being thrown or projected towards myself or the Soul Tribe family, I ask that you shield our minds, bodies, souls, and vessels from it with the mighty shield, as we too shield our minds, bodies, souls, and vessels from it with the mighty shield, clearing, canceling, and releasing that energy back to the universe. Ashe, and thank you. Let's see what the divine needs and wants y'all to know, family. I hope you're well. I hope you're rested. So you're dealing with energies who have this anti-hero syndrome. Okay, they're anti-everybody. Okay, very non-social energy, possibly bigot racist energy. Okay, only take what resonates, leave what does not. What else is going on with this energy, please? And thank you, Spirit. And this may not even be your message. Okay, so only take what resonates. Mm, mm. So somebody has lost something, okay? They're losing out on some sort of dark influence, okay? This could have been somebody that was influencing others through dark magic, witch spells or witchcraft, spell casting, okay? They could have had some sort of soul tie to this energy. If they did, they've cursed that energy. Something about your inner voice and your consciousness, okay? The universe listens to you, speaks to you, moves through you type energy. Okay. Yeah. It had everything to do with the vibrations that this person was sending out versus your vibration. So this person over here didn't like the fact that you had an inner voice and consciousness that's tied directly to the divine source, universe, your soul frequency and your vibration was higher than theirs. Hmm. This person right now, I feel like they had whatever they binded or tried to bind to you, it was a dark force. I feel like they are now binded to a dark force that they invoked. Mm. Wow. Yeah. And see, this person didn't want people to trust you, okay? Because it came out in the reverse. It says no one will ever trust this person again or these people again, but it came out in the reverse. So what ended up happening is the dark spell magic, the dark forces they were trying to invoke. I feel like they ended up backfiring on these people. Not only are you a trustworthy energy, but you may very well be a true speaker when it comes to these energies. These energies come in all shapes, forms, and fashions through family, friends, exes, lovers, jobs, co-workers, bosses, okay? Entities jump. Exactly. Look, you are the generational blessing here. Okay. So you released some sort of karmic that was in your life and you inherited your traits through your spiritual ancestry, your bloodline, and your purification. This is 888 energy, infinity. Okay. This energy out here that was definitely trying to work against you, I feel like in order to sacrifice you, because this is a very dark energy, whatever they did, it is now bound to them. Crazy. But it is. Something about you being radiant and ascending here. So radiance, ascension, tranquility, light body presence. This is your energy. Okay. Let me get two more, please. And thank you, Spirit. hmm Your lineage is connected to celestial heritage, ancestors, spirit guides, angels, and the Most High God. One more, Spirit, please. And thank you. Yeah. It says in the it came out in the reverse, but false person fake and all the time, can't trust them, lies all the time, came out in the reverse. So everything they wanted you to look like, they wanted you to appear to be some sort of liar, some sort of fake or something like that. That's quite the opposite. And now they are stuck in their own shit. Yeah, because all you are giving and receiving love, gratitude, trust, wisdom, and alignment and peace. And people resonate with that. So you may have people resonating with you on that. Okay. Because that's what you are, your peace, your love, your happiness, your joy. But you're not for the fake snakes. You're not for the ones who are really jealous of you behind closed doors. These could be family members. These could be friends, ex friends. Okay. Because I don't feel like you have too many friends. At least that's not what I'm picking up on now. I feel like you're an energy that's possibly, solo dolo. Now, you did have friends once upon a time, but you also realized who they truly were. They were these anti hero, anti everybody, non social, bigot, racist type energies. Okay. And you knew that they were doing some sort of binding magic or something like that because the cycle would not end. It kept repeating itself. That was because they wanted people to think you were crazy, you were delirious, you were deranged. But what they did was partner with the devil. The devil kept them cushioned for a moment in time. The devil's time is up. So now they're all getting what they've been sowing for a long time. And you have awakened to this. I feel like many of you have stopped believing those who were around you because you knew something was wrong with them anyway. They were always insecure. They were always I feel like this is very disobedient energy, disobedient to God energy, like, you know, false pretenses. A lot of their lives were built off of false pretenses. Okay. A lot of their lives were built off of lies. Okay. There was nothing there really except for one thing, and that was them wanting to conquer you. I feel like you awakened to that. That's when you started loving on yourself, showing yourself gratitude, trusting yourself, trusting your wisdom, trusting the alignment with the divine universe, the divine creator of all living things, trusting in your peace. Yeah, you detached. When you detached from this energy, you stepped into your own independence. You stepped into your own knowing, knowledge, and wit, as well as protection here. You know that your protection comes from the source. Yep, the factory gates. The suspense is terrible. I hope it'll last. Like, they can't see what you're doing. They're no longer welcomed in. Okay. They will no longer be welcomed back into your life. Mhm. And you cut these people out with precision. It was like the divine needed you to see something. The divine needed you to possibly keep repeating a cycle so that you could find the pattern, so that you could see how it was happening. I feel like two energies were constantly in connection and constantly in some sort of communication with one another, passing along whatever they were doing. So let's say this person, you know, you did something for this person, everything was cool until you got ready to drop this person off because this person needed you to do something. Or anytime you let this person in, you allowed them to call you or contact you. Anytime you allowed this person in, before the end of the call, you felt drained, you felt manipulated, you felt like they had just come in to, drag you down again. These two people were in conversation. Okay. So you were basically, family, let's say you were talking to one of them because you had blocked one. You like, man, I blocked them because every time I talk to them, it seems like they just attack me for no reason, blah, 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 blah. You're thinking you're speaking to this person, and this person was running back relaying, yeah, it's working, it's working. Yeah, every time you do that, yeah, yeah, do that. And it brings them down. This is how these people were working, were communicating back and forth with each other. It could be two masculines, two feminine energies, or a masculine and a feminine. But I feel like with this energy here, it was two feminines. You could have been close to them, okay? Well, they could have been siblings, okay, cousins, okay, something like that, okay, best friends, okay. Um, masculines were involved too. Masculines were involved too. Masculines were being coached on, what to say, how to say, and all this shit. Everybody was fucking fake. Okay, family. Quick disclosure: I do cuss and curse, speak the truth, and call out names with guided too. So these people here, it was like you had to identify this pattern. Okay. You identified the pattern of a spoiled energy here. I want it now type energy. It was like every single time you got around this energy, it was like clockwork. There was a strategy here that you started to see. They were talking to other people. They were talking to other folks, and they were telling them, yeah, it's working. They're depressed. They're mad. They feel this and that. Fuck all of them now. Because now they're depressed, they're mad, they're losing everything. Is this and that? Mm-hmm. Exactly. What's good for the goose is definitely good for the gander. Mm-hmm. And that is what they are getting, okay? Because they were sitting here attacking you. But look, they practice witchcraft at a distance, okay? This is somebody that is at a distance from you. Okay. But they were using others near you to invoke or evoke this, to get it to work or try to work. So it's like they're practicing witchcraft over here. So the witch is at a distance. The witch doesn't even live in your state, but they work with people that live where you are. The witch has been guiding these people on what to do. Okay. Every time somebody went up and out, they was going to see this witch. This is what I'm hearing. Mhm. I feel like you realize this, okay, family? You realize that there was somebody that was definitely working with someone that was not in your physical presence, okay? This up and out energy is giving me, as well as says here, sometimes the only way forward is through the ceiling. This gives me the energy like you had to connect to your inner voice and your inner consciousness. Okay. Like you went directly to the divine, the creator, the universe. Somebody asked me one time, every time I come here, it rains. Do you think the universe knows we're coming? Now that I think about that question, let me tell you what I feel. The universe, it was crying because the universe was telling an intermission, telling me, don't trust this bitch. Get away from this bitch. It's the universe was sad that this motherfucker was in my presence. Okay. Message for real. The universe did not like this energy. This energy is going down hard. Their whole fucking family. Because they were a witch. And this energy was raising their children in divination. And when I say divination, I mean the practice of witchcraft. The practice of witchcraft. Speaking lies. Anyone that speaks lies, that's witchcraft. If you're lying and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, turn someone against somebody for no reason, like you a sick bitch. This bitch needs mental health. She gonna get some too, especially when she lose her fucking kids and her fucking husband. She gonna get some mental help then. hmm Because they moved outside so that they cannot be tied to something or look like they had nothing to do with something, but they definitely did. They definitely did. Whew. I feel like you needed to raise above the fray. hmm Yep. See, you, oh, I love this distance. Wow. So you establish distance through boundaries. This time, the distance you established, it cannot be penetrated. You will not allow anyone in. You don't give a damn who they are. You're not going to allow them in. So shines a good deed, I promise you, because look, you were always accepting this energy back because they had some sort of tie to you. They no longer have ties to you. You have cut that cord. You don't have any children for some of you. And some of you, you birth children, but they are not children. They are animals. They are animals. They are treacherous savages, especially if they thought they were going to come up against you. hmm So you have set up a boundary here that can no longer be penetrated. They will no longer be accepted back into your life. Now, it doesn't just mean it's children. It could be friends, family, cousins, all the above. Okay. But for some of you, it was that sadistic, that satanic, that savage that it was your fucking children. With this here, so shines a good deed, you will not ever be doing any good deeds for them. You have definitely distanced yourself from this energy. Mhm. This is a witch. This is somebody who's very evil. You've seen it too, but you didn't know that, and like this is a sick individual. This is a real sick individual. This is somebody right here. They've been mentally ill for a very long time. Somebody needs to take their children from them. This bitch ain't stable. I keep hearing that they're like mentally unstable. Damn. Yeah. See, your style, your charm, your confidence, and your glow up, that has everything to do with radiance, ascension, tranquility, light body presence, your lineage connection, celestial heritage, your ancestors, spirit guides, angels, and the most high God. That is why you're not fake. Everybody knows you ain't never been fake. You been who you been. You love hard. If they didn't know now, they know. Somebody realizes that you have definitely identified and pinpointed where all of this was coming from. You may have been, trying to figure it out. I feel like, you may have also been restraining yourself from speaking on certain things through discipline. But once you stepped into your awareness, your knowledge, the undeniable, like the universe isn't going to allow you to keep denying something if as much as the universe keeps putting it in your face, there has to come a time where you acknowledge something. You acknowledge this motherfucker right here. This motherfucker was never any good for you. Boom. That's when you signed the contract with the Most High. You said you will leave all that behind and you signed the contract with the Most High. It says here, yeah, you should never, never doubt what nobody is sure about. And that's one thing you became sure about, that this energy here was a negative influence in a lot of people's lives. And on top of that, she tried to get people to commit unaliving. They all had something to give to this witch. And in return, this witch was going to promise their family some sort of money, possibly through an insurance policy or through something, some sort of insurance. This bitch is gone. Her job is gone. She has been tied to working with an insurance company so that she could get a false policy on you. The bitch's job's gone. Both of them are gone. She was working, okay, somewhere you may have worked before for years. It's gone. She now has a federal case. This person has been reported to the FBI. Mm. Her whole entourage, all the friends involved. And she has crossed all of her friends. They can contest to that. Yeah, she's burned. I can't make it up. She has burned all of her friends. They can all speak to it. hmm Here we go, the golden spoon. And some inherit sugar, others learn to stir. This bitch is learning to stir because she didn't inherit no sugar. And you're coming out as a survivor. So be grateful and thank the universe. Yeah. Through your flexibility, through your adaptability, and through your self priority, you were able to see what you needed to see. Hmm. Wow. I feel like you are star seed energy. This bitch is a spawn of the devil. She's a spawn of the devil. Damn. Yeah. Ain't no victims over here, family. Okay. You are not a victim. You never were. You just needed to see the evidence for what it was. You needed to see the proof for what it was. You needed to really tap into who you are. This bitch was fake with everything. Okay. So you outgrew their performative healing act because they never were healing. This could have been for the one that was running back and forth, trying to, you know what I'm saying? Trying to say, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Build an altar. Build an altar. What do you mean build an altar? You don't build altars like that. People were worshiping the dead. They were worshiping the dead that they put in the grave. They were worshiping the dead that they put in the grave through wearing them down, through constantly abusing them, through constant neglect, through verbal abuse, physical abuse. One of these energies abused a 90-something-year-old woman to the point where the woman had to put a restraining order on this individual. These are the facts I know. Hmm. Yeah, they've been suspect. They were suspect number one. They were suspect number one. Mhm. But this witch was doing things at a distance and keeping people close in proximity to you or your loved ones or others so that they can basically get money. I'm telling you. And that's why this flipped around in the reverse because, yeah, they copied the blueprint, but couldn't replicate the soul. They were so hard, they were hell bent on being you. They were hell bent on being you to where they turned their whole entourage upside down. Hmm. Spirit is saying they couldn't even replicate or copy your blueprint. Damn. Blue. Spirit love this message right here. But they tried it. But they tried it. They sure did. They tried it. Okay. This is somebody that has been doing witchcraft. They started learning how to do this. There may have been perpetrators on both sides of the family, I'm hearing. Okay. And then a bunch of followers. Okay. A bunch of followers. But this energy has crossed every single one of their friends, and their friends can testify to that. Their friends no longer even consider them friends. A lot of people don't even want to be around this energy, to include their own damn husband. Message. Mm. In the reverse, yeah. You are not a battery. Unplug accordingly. This came out in the reverse. I feel like what it was, baby, listen, they were trying to keep you attached to them in some sort of way. I feel like this has something to do with your technology because you were able to see something at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. This had everything to do with your technology. Somebody was trying to unplug accordingly, trying to go in, wipe out information, clean a database, make it look like they weren't there. Footprints are all over the place. You saw it for what it was. That up and out, they thought they were going to get up and out and away and, you know what I'm saying, free and clear off of something that they thought was going to happen to you until you saw it for what it was. That bitch been reported to the FBI. You don't give a fuck who she is. You don't give a damn if your mama. What Kendrick Lamar say? He cut his grandma off if his grandma don't see it his way. You feel me? Hmm. That's what you did. You cut off somebody and they going through it. They're losing everything behind what they was doing and plotting on you. And they worked with people. Yeah, they had gloves. They was trying to cover their tracks. But the chapter is done. You're the whole damn book. They know this now. See, they was trying to cover up their tracks. Nah, you can't hide nothing from the divine. Now they know you the whole damn book. Their lives are falling and crumbling at this very moment. Surprise. Because they sure did figure they were going to come in and try to change your life by keeping you in some sort of confusion or illusion and working the dog shit out of you, okay? Getting paid money to abuse you while they evil eyed your tears and what you were going through, listening to what you were going through, but in the background, enjoying every minute of it, okay? Taking trips on your energy off of their false documentation and lies while they were stealing in the background. All that shit got blocked. Many of these people here were working with priests and lustful ones. They probably done slept with more pastors than a little bit. Some of these folks done went to jail after being married. They were dealing with dark energies. These dark energies are the ones who married them. That's why it all backfired too. These people were married married by the wicked. Damn, that was a curse right there. You already knew that love isn't geometry. Love ain't supposed to be that difficult. They were upsetting after your hidden assets. Yeah. You were the mirror to them the entire time, not their threat. And that's what's pissed off. That's why they're pissed off because they were seeing in you who they were. So, like, you're mirroring back who they are. You're like, damn, you're crooked as fuck. You're a liar. You're a conniver. You're manipulative. You do dirt. You probably were the cause of a lot of ailments to your grandmother, your great grandmother type energy. I can't make it up. So everything they said about you, it was a false narrative, even down to this marriage they're in. That's false. That's full of shit. I'm telling you, these people were getting a lot of joy out of your emotional pain. They've been doing this to you since you were a child, and the legal department has put an end to it because, yeah, that bitch is going to jail. Everybody that they came in and worked with, they all going to jail. And you will be the first to let it be known just how long they was doing the shit and what they were doing it for and who all it affected, impacted. And personally, right now, family, it was affecting you until you cut this hoe off through face. See, they wanted to break your faith. They can't break your faith. You already know what time it is. They wanted to break your faith. They wanted you to be on the side of evil as they are. This person's being reported to the FBI. Their IP address, their footprints, and everything, it's already been identified. The divine was waiting for you to identify them so that you would stop repeating that cycle. Okay? Tell me more, Spirit. Soon as you were able to identify them and stop repeating that cycle, you had real love and protection come in. I feel like this is real love from someone actually within your proximity. Okay. This is someone that really loves you and they protect you, but they wanted you to see as well as the divine creator wanted you to see where it was coming from. Tell me more. Yeah. It was all behind your energy. You're a rich girl. As above, so below. You probably rich right now. Okay. You feel it. You've always felt it. Hmm. Yeah. And the courthouse knows it. The courthouse knows it. Yeah. See, I feel like your real love also protects you behind the scenes because they know about a lot of things that you don't know about. They have the power and the connection to do so. Yeah. They know you're a star seed that has achieved a lot, especially when dealing with these vultures. You're around a bunch of savage ass vultures, scavengers. All the scavengers have been reported. You damn right. All of them. Mm-mm. Look, abuse want to be on the fence. Some of these energies, I feel like with this abuse on the fence, they've never even lived any abuse, but they bout to. If they thought that you had abused them in any kind of way, if they was in question of that, they about to know now. You ain't holding nothing back when it come to these energies. You ain't holding nothing back. I'm hearing they're losing everything. Yeah, because they came for an earth angel. All right, family. So I'm gonna leave that message here. Yeah, at the bottom of the thought, at the bottom of the deck, an earth angel who's always thinking about love and shit. No, and motherfuckers ain't out here on that love. They out here on what they can take and get and steal. Well, we're gonna see how that addiction works out for them. Let's see how that addiction works out for them. Okay. Yes, let's see how that addiction works out for them. Let's see how cute they looking up in the federal penitentiaries that they going to. All right, family. Okay, yeah. Because this whole sting operation was top secret, but you tapped into it. All right. So hopefully that provides you with some clarity and guidance. Let's close out. At this time, Divine, thank you so much. I ask that you continue to keep us with love, harmony, tranquility, prosperity, peace, protection, and respect, and good health and good wealth in our lives and all the time. Ashe and thank you. And until next time, you know what I love to say. Namaste.